Yo, you stupid. Yo, this guy Kory stupid. Oh man, the Recess Bell Show. We are here every Wednesday, 6 o'clock. Got a little late start due to a multitude of reasons that I don't have the energy of getting into. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like Kory criticized me for last week. I should really stop bringing off-air problems to the microphone. I find so much fun in it. Like I find so much enjoyment in being petty that I can't help it sometimes. But
I was like, you like Deion Sanders? I try to take the high road, but I don't know where to address this.
exactly. No, 100%. Yeah, nah, I just find it like, yo, it just increases the tension. I find enjoyment in it. I can't front. But yeah, now we here. You know, it is what it is. We here. 6:28. We getting started. My
I don't know
buddies
why.
Justin and Kory with me. What's good,
I
Kory?
don't know. I don't know why I just seen that clip today, and I was like, I just thought of that instance when like Tony Romo was talking about Deion, and Deion was like, "Why are you talking about me? I try to take the high road, but I don't know where that is." Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me go repost this link out real quick.
While Kory gets to work. Yo, Justin, what you been up to? You missed last week. What's good?
I have technical issues. That's the trouble of doing this thing remotely. But we're hoping this week goes better. That's the only thing. I'm trying, Josh. But
You all, I'll give you credit.
I'm
You
looking at the
never show it
stream.
on effort.
Hey, it looks good. I'm on the Twitter. I'm there.
Yeah, nah, your stream looks good. You know, you off that dusty ass iPhone 8. You know what I mean? We here, we with it, and we ready to go. All right. So yeah, nah, obviously, as always on the Recess Bell, the recessbell.com, the Recess Bell podcast, we always get to a lot. There's always a lot to get to. So what I did last week, essentially, I just had a bunch of videos I wanted to show y'all. A couple of videos that made me laugh, some trending videos on social media. I'll wait for Kory to come back to play some of them. But
Well, no, I'm back. I'm back. I just retweeted it. I got you. I got us right.
Good soldier. You know what? Yeah,
One second.
Kory,
Wait,
yeah.
a good soldier of who? Because I've been hearing that soldier line be brought about a lot on Twitter.
Do you want to elaborate on that? Like,
Hey, Charleston White started a trend.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He was like, what's the name's greatest soldier? And like, you know who they've been associating that with?
Yeah.
Like they've been saying Patrick Mahomes, Steph Curry. It's like they got some devil magic going
Bro,
on.
I'm not gonna hold you. These light skin ass dudes in sports, they appear to have a lot of devil magic on their side. I mean, let's just get into it. I actually have one of these videos queued up. This is what happened on Sunday. Broncos walked the Chiefs down, right? Last drive of the game. And you thinking like, okay, Sean Payton, I know Sean Payton well. He gets up for these big games. He's an egomaniac. So I know he was like, ooh, at the chance of handing Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs their first loss on the season from hoping to go 9-0 to 8-1. I mean, Sean Payton was probably like rubbing his nipples. He was so excited when they was lining up for that field goal, only for this to happen.
It was like
kick to win it. Oh! Blocked! The Chiefs have won! The Chiefs have won!
Now, I had people trying to tell me, yo, that's not luck. You know what I mean? Taking, field goals and blocking it, that's skill. They practice that. Teams work on it all week. I'm like, I'm not trying to hear all that, yo. This is too consistent that this happens for the Kansas City Chiefs.
I wish it was two videos you had. There's two videos of Drewski that would encapsulate that moment like perfectly. Right before the kick, right before the kick, it would have been like, we got him. And then the second one was, get the fuck out of here. Because it kind of reminds me of, did any of you ever watch the movie Little Nicky?
Yeah.
You know how I am with movies, Kory.
So there was a scene, because the movie takes place in hell, right? So there was a scene where Dan Marino's down there, and he says, I'm just begging for one Super Bowl. One Super Bowl. And he says, I'm sorry, you're just too nice. And he says, you gave Namath one. And he says, I'm a Jets fan. I was like, what dark sorcery did Brady and Patrick Mahomes sacrifice, and what does Lamar Jackson have to do to get it?
Hey, I'm sure Lamar Jackson would love to figure that out, and the Baltimore Ravens would love to figure that out because you mean Kory, go back to week 1. What happened on opening night?
The toe.
The shoulda worn white cleats game. And you go down the list of these insane wins that the Chiefs have had. I mean, it's crazy. Like the week prior when they played the Bucs on Monday Night Football, and the Bucs don't go for 2. That's been a hot discussion. How often, or is it the right play to go for 2 when you score a touchdown, especially when you're in Mahomes' house, knowing that if you give him the ball back, he's gonna walk you down. And once they won that coin toss, the whole entire country knew what it was. Baker Mayfield put his arms up in the air like, "Yo, we are cooked," because Mahomes he's gonna take this ball right down the field, boom, 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 all methodical and score on us. And that's exactly what happened. It's crazy because you watch teams like, I know the Lions, really struggled in Houston. Jared Goff was putting on an absolute masterclass and threw 5 picks. But then the Lions came back, and by virtue of an insane 19-0 second half, they won the game. But the Lions have been a lot more dominant than the Kansas City Chiefs have. We've seen the Ravens win in blowout fashion. We've seen other teams like the Bills win in blowout fashion. It's like the Chiefs, they don't blow anybody out anymore. And if it wasn't for last season, Kory, I really wonder if they did not win the Super Bowl last season, how many people would be like, you know what? I don't see it. They don't blow anybody out. They're not dominant. They win every game by the skin of their teeth. And that's
just who the Chiefs are. They are this generation's Patriots from, I'm going to say, the early version of Brady's Patriots, where they're not wowing anybody. Randy Moss isn't there yet. They're just winning. And I'll never bet against Patrick Mahomes. There's always that guy from that generation. And Brady was that. Manning was always better in the regular season. Maybe you could say Lamar Jackson is the Manning, where he's winning the league MVPs. Maybe he's more talented. But when it matters, when they're facing off in the playoff game, I'm never betting against Brady. I'm never going to bet against Patrick Mahomes until it's proved otherwise. You can't.
True. It's unfortunate, but true.
Yeah, Kory's his Raven fandom. I'm not going to criticize you for your Eagles wearing jersey stuff as a Giants fan. I'm not going to go there this episode. I just want to comment because you're very informed on the Baltimore Ravens, right?
Yeah, I rock with the book because it's like you had those outside teams or those outside players that you rock with. And it was like you root for their success because if your team not winning, it's like I gotta have something to look forward to. Like you gotta have a side piece team. Baltimore, because I root for Lamar Jackson because I love the story, and it's just like for some strange reason, I don't know why, but I like watching the Charlotte Hornets, even though they're a horrible team.
They don't look too bad this year.
No, they do.
No, Kory, I'm telling you, I like their new head coach. I like his attitude.
They
don't look that bad to me this year.
No. They look bad. LaMelo look good.
Right.
He averaging 30 points, so he can't do no harm.
No love for Brandon Miller at all?
After what he did last night, no.
That's fair enough. It's funny. We talk so much, and we're going to get into one of the main stories of the day, or what happened last night with Klay Thompson coming back to the Bay and playing Steph Curry, which it was a weird scene. Klay going against Steph and Draymond for the first time. As somebody that's followed the Warriors dynasty since it started, I was like, what am I watching? Steph is guarding Klay off ball. Klay's guarding Steph. Draymond, I was surprised Draymond didn't commit a flagrant 2 on Klay at some point, just crashing out for no reason. I was shocked at all of that, but that's the great teams in the NBA. Like the Warriors, a big surprise team so far. The Mavericks, we know they're the defending Western Conference champions. We'll give them that. But I pay attention to the league pass teams, Kory. You know what I mean? I pay attention to the marginalized, like Hornets and teams like that. The teams that don't get a lot of love. The Trailblazers, who had a big win versus the Timberwolves last night.
The Sacramento Kings?
The Sacramento Kings, they've turned the corner a little bit, and they got DeMar DeRozan. DeMar and De'Aaron Fox in the clutches.
We don't talk about DeMar. We don't talk about DeMar. We
Oh,
don't talk about.
is this your inner Aubrey's angel jumping out
brother.
at 6:37 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? No,
Brother
go ahead and speak your piece. Go ahead, Kory.
brother,
I'll give you the floor. Get your takes off.
I
Go ahead.
I don't need to say my piece, brother. He's on that side. He's on that side. See, he can stay. He can stay on that side.
Him just doing the "Not Like Us" music video. That
That
left a bad taste in your mouth, huh?
It's like, you can't call me your boy, and then you in a video with a dude calling me a whole PDF.
That's where we found common ground last week. Cause I'm a big proponent of whatever it is in life, you got to pick a side. You can't play both sides against the middle. I've said that. So if DeMar DeRozan, I mean, yes, he played for the Raptors, who Drake is affiliated with, and he's from Compton, obvious ties to Kendrick Lamar. But you can't hop on, like you said, a music video where you're certified lover boy, certified pedophile, and then be like, you know what, Drake and me, that's always gonna be my boy. We always gonna be tight. It don't work like that.
I'm like, who the fuck? I'd be like, who the fuck told you that? I was like, who told you we was always gonna be boys? Once I seen you dancing at the pop out, I said, yeah, fuck all that shit.
Drake didn't have to mean mug him at the Raptors game though. Is a Drake mean mug threatening at all?
Nah.
Like if Drake was mean mugging you on the other side of the street, are you threatened at all? Like does your heart sink a little bit?
Nah.
I don't think so for me either. I think that's
I'm not, but I do hear things. I do hear things. Like he be moving around. He move around like he with immunity out there in Toronto. Like he think he can't be touched, and he think he can touch people.
He running around like he Pac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, look. People forget. Even Pac was a theater kid. He turned hard, and I mean, it did eventually. That did eventually lead to his. It did eventually lead to his untimely passing. Him doing something that he wasn't supposed to be doing, as far as stinging you hard, and it's like you jumping into this gang life. It wasn't about that life.
Kory, bringing up people's bad history like it's breathing oxygen. You always go for that. You brought up the Raptors though, and I'm watching Inside the NBA last night because I mean the Knicks Sixers game, which I love. Just on a short aside, let me actually see if I can get this clip together of my favorite highlight from this game. You know what I mean?
Flop.
Yeah, this is Joel Embiid getting contacted by Deuce McBride, who he has a full like 11, 12 inches on pause and like 80 pounds or 100 pounds. And look how he falls. He just falls backward like he got shot. You know what I mean?
Even
real bad game for Joe. Yeah, it wasn't even hard contact.
Fan of pro wrestling, like that's amateur hour there. You got to fall flat back, son.
Joel Embiid watches a lot of pro wrestling, so I would think he would be better at this.
Yeah,
right.
Than what I'm looking at.
I look like a botch. But you know what I think it could have been? You know what I think it could have been on the real? I think it could have been Deuce McBride's aura. It just could have been his aura that knocked him back.
His aura.
His aura was too much.
That's the most Gen Z thing you've ever said. I hope you know that. His aura was talking about some aura. I guess. I mean, yeah,
very
listen.
demure.
Yeah, Kory, are you very demure, very mindful this morning? What's going on? Or this evening? What's going on?
Hey, we millennials, we still in your slang.
I guess so. But yeah, listen, a great performance from the Knicks. Joel Embiid looked terrible last night. He's clearly not all the way conditioned. It was his season debut. The Sixers are 2-8. The Knicks got 5-5 on the season. They haven't looked perfect by any means. Their defense at times has really concerned me, but they match up great with the Sixers. I mean, we saw it last playoffs, even with a hospital roster. They took the Sixers down in 6 games, even though the series was close throughout. And Kory, correct me if I'm wrong, or if you think I'm wrong, because I don't think I am, ever, really.
Okay.
But the fast-paced teams like the Celtics and the Pacers, teams that will get up a lot of three-pointers and get out in transition and really run you out the gym. I feel like the Knicks struggle more with those teams defensively. But teams like the Sixers that play like half-court basketball, especially Philly didn't have Tyrese Maxey last night. So they're really slower and more methodical. The Knicks match up beautifully with those type of teams because you can get Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, who Anunoby's been incredible to start this season in the starting lineup.
Hey, tell me why I seen people bet money on Josh Hart getting a triple-double. I said, how the hell would y'all know that was going to happen?
Josh Hart, let me tell you something about Josh Hart. It's funny, Kory, you remember the quote before the season where he was like, I'm lost. I'm trying to figure myself out in the starting lineup. We got all these new players. I'm lost. I'm trying to figure it out. He's been a top 3 Knick through 10 games pretty easily. Points, rebounds, assists every night. Good defense.
Bro, tell me why the first...
He leads the league in 2-point percentage. 2-point field goal percentage.
Tell me why the first couple of games I bet the under on this fool, and he gonna go out there and score the over on each time. I said, you wasn't like this a year ago. Probably put the under on you, and you would not score over that amount.
Yeah, anybody that don't know, Kory's gambling luck is stuff of legend or lack thereof. Stuff of legend, for real.
Be like Ben Simmons. He'll always give me that. He'll always stay under 10 points. He'll never disobey the ticket.
Stop it. Get some help. Stop it. Get some help.
Just had to
I had to do the Steve Urkel. You ever seen that scene where he's like,
But yeah, great win for the Knicks. Knicks play tonight. We will end the stream at 7:30, and I will run right to that game. They play the Chicago Bulls tonight, so hopefully they can make it back-to-back wins on back-to-back nights.
We are the New York Knicks.
Let's go.
Listen, the New York Knicks.
Kory, we all knew that this was going to take time to build some chemistry. As a Knicks fan, we all knew that. You know what I mean? Let me get my Embiid video back up.
I don't know if you. I'm gonna say something controversial. And
what's up?
This is still me. I'm not a fan. I was not a fan of the trade, and I'm still not a fan of the trade. This is me.
Can you elaborate on that? Because you are really going to die on this hill. You just don't like Karl Anthony Towns because he's been great. You just don't like him. You don't like him as a man. That's what this is.
I feel as though we lost our heart. I feel like we lost our heart.
We still
like
have
that team that we had a grit to us that I just love. I don't know about this team.
So you don't think Karl Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges have grit?
I gotta see it. I don't think they got that heart. Sorry.
Do you think that grit can only get you so far? Because I'm trying to think back to another player, Charles Oakley, who was on the Bulls at one point. He left, and Jordan wasn't thrilled with it, and they thought they lost that edge, that grit. I'm not comparing anyone on the Bulls to, the Knicks to Michael Jordan. Sometimes,
please. We gotta have
sometimes you need to get rid of some of those players that you think are those pivotal pieces to win.
I could understand if you said they at the time they didn't have a Scottie Pippen. They still had Scottie, so they basically had their squad already. Like, man, it's not like they went out and got a generational scorer, which they got like the Knicks got with Karl. So I wouldn't even compare that type of situation. If anything, it would be like when the Pistons finally decided to let go of Ben Wallace and Rasheed Wallace. Like once you got rid of those guys and you got basically rid of that core for the Pistons in that I want to say 05, like from that 05 team. Then you could tell like they lost their heart.
Well, only time will tell. We'll see what the Knicks do in the playoffs.
Kory just thinks Karl Anthony Towns, he will always hold that voice change on the video stream against him. He doesn't think Karl Anthony Towns is a man's man. He thinks Karl Anthony Towns embodies his nickname, which I couldn't disagree with more. If you've watched Karl Anthony Towns play this season, he's did his job.
Solid.
He's done his job. He's been more than solid.
Solid. But
you just don't respect him as a man. Like you can keep it. You can call a spade a spade.
I felt the same way. I felt the same way when we traded for Melo. I was not a fan of that trade. I felt.
How do you feel about that after his career ended? Would you still think that Melo move was the right move, or wasn't the right move?
I thought we could have went deeper in the playoffs with the team that we had originally. Like it was more constructed for a team. I thought once we got Melo, we became Melo in the Knicks.
That's what I'm worried about. That with my Mets, they're going to change their whole team. It seems like potentially, and go for Juan Soto, and they just got to the NLCS without him. and they're going to potentially
uh,
lose gritty players. Maybe a Jesse Winker isn't there anymore. We'll see.
Oh no, bring Jesse Winker back. If Jesse Winker leaves, I'll be distraught. Of all people, right? But
I tell you this, but yo, what's his name? Might got me a little more interested in baseball after watching that World Series. So I just want to say this: if you think you're getting Juan Soto, I say the hell with you, my fans. You're not touching him. Leave him the fuck alone.
Cause that's up to you, right?
Yeah, it's up to me now.
Yeah.
It's up to me now. He ain't going nowhere. And if the Dodgers think they get, I'll damn with that. You already got too much.
If the Dodgers got Juan Soto,
I don't think you're fully grasping.
I know what he wants. He wants another crazy contract, and people always talking about how he's how many teams he's been on, and
that's why I say you're not fully grasping how.
I'm like
how deep Steve Cohen's pockets are.
I'm telling y'all, we can get back to something magical.
Kory, if you want to bet on it right now, if Juan Soto to the Mets versus staying with the Yankees, we can bet on it right now. We can put money on it right now.
Oh, bet?
Yeah.
This is recording.
$5. Kory, I know you. Where's Riverboat Kory? Come on now, more than $5.
Hold on, wait. This is gentleman's bet. $5. Yeah, $5.
15.
Can I get in on that? $5 right here too, Kory.
You said 15?
Yeah.
7.
10.
8.
10.
9.
10.
7.
10. Yo, nah, it's 10. Come on, stop.
8. Final offer 8.
We'll revisit it then.
35, 45, 55.
You're not gonna hand me 8 crusty ass singles when Juan Soto joins the Mets. It's not gonna happen that way. I'm not allowing it to happen that way. Nah, I'm not with it.
We can do 10.
All right, there you have it. That's how you haggle, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of inside the NBA, Kory, before we get to the before I shut off this wonderful video of Embiid flopping his ass off and in the worst game of his career probably versus the Knicks last night in the NBA Cup debut this season. So I'm watching inside the NBA. You know how they run through the highlights, Kory?
Mm-hmm.
Shaq, Chuck, Ernie, Kenny.
Let me guess what Chuck. Can I guess what Chuck said? So what the hell is this? This is acting soft out there.
Chuck is featured in this video, and it relates to one of your favorite players, Kory. Let's just give this a run right now.
Let me see.
Hey, this boy balling right here, y'all. I think we pointed that out, Brady Dick. I can't say his name. I just can't say his name. I'm not going to say his name. I don't give a damn what y'all say around here. Come on, man. I'm not going to say that to another man.
Hey, that.
What y'all say? Call him His name Grady. Grady. I'm not going to say that man's last name. I don't care what y'all say around here.
22 turnovers for the
Don't call another man that, Jack. Grady, you balling, man. Grady balling. Grady balling. Grady balling is still trying to play too.
like we stepped back into middle school.
Grady balling.
Okay. His name, Chuck. Phoenix in Utah. Phoenix in Utah.
I don't think you can say Grady balling either.
You know, as somebody that does consistent studio hosting, I relate to Ernie so much. That last little comment, like, oh, I guess we're back in middle school. But yeah, Kory, Charles Barkley has discovered Grady Dick. He's discovered.
You mean Grady Richard?
What?
I don't think last names have that sort of thing.
No, they don't. They really don't.
We call him Grady Richard.
I always was curious about that. Like, I don't know the motivation for dudes named Richard to just, oh yeah, you can call me Dick. Where did you even get that from?
Yeah.
Where did you pull that out from?
No, I could get some things. Okay, like your name's Bobby, and then you could shorten it to Bob. But then like Robert,
right.
What is that? But the one that never made sense is John. You could have Jack as the nickname for John. It's like those are different names. That's just one letter. Like John Kennedy, the president, was called Jack Kennedy also. It's very, very weird. But the Dick
Good
thing,
question.
Don't
they
don't understand that.
Ain't William? Don't they use like Ben for like William?
No, Bill and William. I get that rhyme. So Bill, Will, Rob, Bob. It's very weird.
But where did B come from? Where did B come from a W? Like,
Where's the
that
D
was,
come from in Richard?
I don't know. I don't know where. Like, whoever really came up with that, who was the first one to be like, Richard, but you can call me Dick. Like, I don't know why that was
The
a
D
thing or
came
why
out
that
of
became a
nowhere.
thing.
well, that probably was used as a pickup line. Hey, ladies, my name Richard, but you call me Dick. Depends on what you want.
Insane.
Clip that.
That's probably how that shit came about.
That's why the character of from Batman and Robin. Robin, his name's Dick Grayson, and it's like
Yeah.
they can never do that character in modern day. It's like, oh, this is my friend Dick. He lives at my house. He's a teenager. It's like, all right, that's weird.
Hey, yo, hey, don't, hey, look, hey, don't start making them allegations about Bruce Wayne being a billionaire, having parties, having having a whole cave out there. Hey, that sound like Diddy to me.
So, Kory, Grady Richard is what you're rolling with? Grady Richard.
Yeah, I would not call him by that last name.
Wow, all right. I thought you'd be a little more secure in your masculinity, bro. I don't know what's going on with that.
What? I mean, I could, but I just don't. I just feel like it's inappropriate. I don't know. I feel like as my great co-host Justin said, I feel like Richard sounds very more demure.
You're pulling out all the Gen Z lingo right now. I respect it. All right, man. You finally want to get to the matters of what happened in San Francisco last night. Mavericks Warriors defending Western Conference champions versus the 4-time NBA champions and the Warriors.
Yeah, let's get into.
Let's see what happened towards the end of the game, real quick. You know, it's funny because all you heard from like Klay Thompson before the game was like, oh, it's just going to be another game. And, aside from Klay, Steph, Draymond, we won 4 championships together. It's just another game, though. But when the game tipped off, you clearly saw from everybody involved, Steph, Draymond, Steve Kerr, Klay Thompson, even the Mavericks players, they knew how big a game this was for Klay Thompson. And for Steph to hit that shot at the end and the emotion pouring out, that's what the NBA needs more of. I'll expand on that, but Kory, go ahead.
I want to ask, who called that game?
That'd be Kevin Harlan.
I thought for a second I was about to get up. I was like, oh. Okay.
I mean, let's hear it again because Kevin Harlan. I mean, nothing's the Mike Breen bang, but this is still tough.
The switch to Lively. 3, Kory.
Because like you hear the raw emotion come out from Kevin Harlan there. Sometimes just a little like that kind of captures how everybody's feeling at that moment.
And
I feel like if that's your go ahead, Kristen.
I like that he lets it breathe too. He talks and then he lets the crowd do the talking. He doesn't have Romo stepping over him or some of these color commentators just yap and let the crowd do the talking.
That's rule. As somebody that's done play-by-play before, that's rule number 1. You got to read the room. Like, you got to know when to talk, when to let the crowd take over. You know what I mean? And nobody likes a yapper on a broadcast. Nobody.
I could be bugging, right? But when Curry hit that shot and he was talking, it kind of looked like he said, "This stay here. Yo, this is what I deserve. I stated. He left. So
that's exactly what I think he said. He said, "This is my shit. This is my shit. I'm here. You want to say here." That's what he said.
You know what it reminded me of? You remember that scene with Will Smith? He said, "How you know? You know what? I'm gonna raise a fine honey to hell with him. Why you don't want me? Why you don't want me?" That's what that reminded me of. I was like, "Yo, he hurt you. He hurt you stuff, didn't he?"
I'm going to continue to expand on my thoughts about this game and kind of my storylines around it, but let's hear from a friend of the show, Draymond Green, what he had to say on the Draymond Green show featuring Baron Davis this morning.
We the ops.
Hey, so I pissed Steph off. He like, yeah. I talked to Klay last night about, he was like, because Steph was supposed to speak before the game. He like, yeah, I called Raymond.
and told him I'm not speaking. Like, I just need to lock in on the game, so I ain't even speaking. And I talked to Klay about it. Tried to check in with Klay on something else, and Klay ghosted him. So he got pissed. And here we go. Here we go.
That's why he was on 10. That's why at the end of the game, hey, bro, that end of the game, that was almost like the Olympic shot. You feel me?
Man,
like, he was on, even after the game, after y'all shook hands, it was like, what was that feeling like? Because, it's so much emotions, bro. That,
Nah, it's crazy because, yes, Steph was supposed to speak at some point. They played a tribute video for Klay Thompson. Steph was supposed to give like a lovey, gushy, mushy speech. And like, oh, Klay, we love you so much. We'll never forget what you did for the Golden State Warriors in the Bay, Oakland, San Francisco. And I think Klay, like Draymond said, ghosted the message that Steph sent about it. And then Steph was like, you know what? I'm not speaking. I'm locking in on the game. And maybe Justin will agree on this. But I feel like anybody that used to love the NBA, like back in the 90s, early 2000s, where like players are going at each other's necks. Pause.
I mean, that's what I was thinking. That while that whole clip was going, I was like, it's sort of a throwback. Jordan wasn't friendly with people on the court. He'd BS with them and maybe behind the scenes talk to them, maybe gamble with them. But when the game was playing, they were rivals, and I think that's something that this modern NBA is missing. LeBron never had that killer instinct that Kobe had or that Jordan had. He didn't. He was very friendly.
LeBron is somewhere, if he was watching, what is he?
But it's that whole generation, I guess, of LeBron fans and that grew up to eventually be players, sort of took on his style of play, and it was very, let's all be kumbaya after the game and even during the game. But I mean, I couldn't imagine Isaiah and Jordan and Ewing all just sucking it up.
Hey, nah, don't do that because we go pause. You got the picture of Magic and Isaiah with the cheek to cheek, all that. Stop that. Come on now. Stop
but think about all the things that Isaiah said about Larry Bird too. Stuff like that's not being said today.
I'm talking about him and Magic, but yeah, there was some people that hated each other, but you had Mike didn't like nobody. He didn't even like his own teammates. He was like, if you don't play good, you starve on the plane. Stop.
You don't. But in terms of the modern NBA, the last 10 years, the reason why we get so hyped up over Steph Curry hitting that shot, scoring 10 straight points in the fourth quarter to take down his former splash brother, not buddy, not friend, not teammate, splash brother. They was in it together. They revolutionized the game together. So you're going to tell me that we are so in love with that moment last night because we just don't get enough of that in the NBA. Kory, you're a WNBA fan, a super fan.
Okay.
The amount of storylines you had, it wasn't just Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese for Rookie of the Year. It was the Connecticut Sun and the Indiana Fever. Every time they linked up, we know there's a relationship between the players. You had so many storylines other than that, and it was consistent throughout the season. And the reason why people were so locked in and the ratings were through the roof was because we love conflict as sports fans. We don't like all that buddy, kissy stuff all the time.
Whoa. Stop that.
Stop playing.
We was in there because of Caitlin Clark. That was the ratings draw. Sorry.
But yes, she's a revolutionary player. But you don't think what happened between LSU and Iowa 3 years ago in the championship game had anything to do with people's heightened interest into that?
No.
Come on.
No.
It certainly did. It certainly did.
No, we focused on the threes, the assists.
Whatever. Kory's an injuries hater. We're gonna slide by that. No, you are. But go ahead, Justin. Go ahead,
brother. Hold on.
Everyone wasn't, though. Majority of the people that were talking about the WNBA had a side. There's very few people that were like, oh, I'm in it for the love of the game. Majority of the people, at least the ones that are talking on Twitter, were either pro Angel Reese, pro Caitlin Clark, and then they hated the other one. I'm thinking of this in the style of pro wrestling. Storyline is what's really important with sports. Whether it's a former player going against an old teammate, a coach going against a player that he once coached, the storylines make pro wrestling, and they also make sports.
Sports journalism. The reason why journalism is a dying field is because people are so caught up in the quick little hits of dopamine that you'll get from like TikTok videos and all that. But the other reason why is because people aren't telling the stories. Or in the case of the NBA, what we're talking about, there's not really any stories to tell. Because, like, for example, every time I watch a Lakers Suns game, yes, it's LeBron, KD, arguably the two greatest players of this generation, skill for skill. They get together, but Kory, there's no rivalry there. It's all huggy, kissy after the game.
Look, even when KD did that, that little stage shit, people forget Braun at one point and KD, they was in Miami, making music together.
That's what I'm saying. And this is my perfect lead into somebody that really nobody in the NBA appears to like, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Because you saw what happened with Jaylen Brown, I think it was on Sunday's game, Celtics and Bucks. And this is something that happened and got a lot of headlines because we're just not used to seeing this in NBA circles lately.
Giannis hit you with the offensive foul, and then he fake shook your hand and pulled it back. Are you laughing at that? Do you think it's funny, or does that kind of piss you off?
Giannis is a child. I'm just focused on helping my team get a win, and that's what we did tonight.
So Giannis goes the childish fake handshake to Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown doesn't like it. Bucks were winning big. Celtics come back and win, maybe because of that moment, because it lit a fire under. And Giannis also committed a flagrant foul that wasn't called on Jason Tatum. But those are the moments like we're longing for. We're gonna get into some NFL topics. You have rivalry games seemingly every week. You have teams that just don't like each other. Ravens Steelers is about to get together real soon in the second half of the season.
They don't like each other, but they still cool. It's like you don't really hear the crazy trash talking on the field like how you used to. But
not how you used to. You're right about that. But okay, the NFL is one thing, but the NBA, it's severely lacking in the NBA. I can't lie.
I mean, what beef can you possibly get? Unless you're not, because really took. Can we be honest? What really stopped all this other stuff? Once they took fighting out of the game, a dude can't scrap it up a little bit. It kind of made it was yo, you can't really exert the aggression that you want.
But
and the times that you do see it, that's when it's okay, that's a rivalry. When you see Isaiah Stewart and you know that he don't like Braun like that. That's a rivalry, right? Because he will when he did when that whole thing happened with the blood and him trying to take out a whole team to try to get to Braun. Yeah, with Kevin Garnett and Melo, that looked like a real rivalry with the Honey Nut Cheerios thing. That looked like a real rivalry. Once you take those aggressive moments out of it, yeah, of course it's always gonna look buddy.
I mean, you're right about that. But that's fighting, though. That's real life. You're not gonna. If you throw punches at everybody that piss you off, you're gonna get hit with assault charges. So that's in real life too. But you can still be at people's neck and just have actual disdain and competitive energy about somebody or towards somebody.
What's the Celtics coach name?
Joe Mazzulla.
I like what Joe Mazzulla said. Sometimes you just gotta punch him up. You gotta scrap it up a little bit.
That's all I'm saying.
Some fight.
That's all I'm saying. The games like last night in the Bay, my bottom line, as a journalist, as a fan, as just a sports enthusiast, you long for those games because we're able to sit here and have a conversation about it, telling the story of what happened. Klay Thompson coming back to the Bay. Klay Thompson's on one last night too. He had 22 points, made a lot of clutch shots in the fourth quarter. But it kind of light a fire on Steph Curry. Steph Curry literally said, in a meaningless, quote unquote, regular season game in November, early November, he said, I don't think I'm losing tonight. I don't really feel like losing tonight. So let me just go on a personal 10-0 run and win this game. That's what, and the NBA season is so long. It's going to be December, then we get to Christmas, then we get to trade deadline, then players like Justin says, or on occasion, then they start playing hard after the trade deadline. For the first time all season, you'll see guys like Joel Embiid really turn it up around February. That's just the way it is. It's a bad culture.
Well, that's why the NFL will always be king. It's just 16, 17 games, and every game matters. There's not an NFL game that doesn't matter. And with the NBA, especially now, a lot of the league's best just aren't playing. The whole Joel Embiid not playing back-to-back games. Load management. Jordan would play every day. I hate to be that old guy, but if you were paying top dollar to go see this guy, if you're an outsider, say you're a Minnesota Timberwolves fan, or rather you live in Minnesota and the Bulls just happened to show up, you knew you were going to see Michael Jordan play. You might not get that with LeBron. You might not get that with Embiid, and that's a major issue as well.
We need more rivalries all the way across the board in sports, but especially the NBA. We need more rivalries.
You want more rivalries? Check WNBA out. It's Caitlin Clark versus everybody.
This guy. This guy.
Look. To this day, I don't want her in the new league, Unrivaled. I'm like, all her ops is in there. I'm like, we good on that. We good on that.
Kory, the Caitlin Clark publicist.
Hey,
proud member
Clark,
of the
Caitlin Clark FC, stand up.
Nah, I like the Caitlin Clark clan better.
I think no, we don't. We don't.
I think the Caitlin Clark, like, it's more rhythmic. I think it rolls off the tongue more. Caitlin Clark clan. The alliteration is crazy, bro.
It's not funny. It's not none of that.
I'm not trying to be funny. It's just, Caitlin Clark clan. It's easy.
No, Caitlin Clark fan club. Or Caitlin Clark
CCC. What's wrong with the CCC?
No, not quite. Not quite.
Oh, I'm trying to be funny. I'm trying to be funny.
It's okay, Kory.
Watch when we take over this league in about 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
And for them thinking that page,
and for them French, Kory? What's going on?
Chocolat bleu. Yeah. But for them thinking that Paige Becker's about to come into the league and do something, we gonna quiet all that shit too. We got something for that too. We got something for that.
All right, Kory. Caitlin Clark fan number 1. Speaking of the marginalized white woman, Kory. What did you make of this Michelle Beadle incident from this past weekend? I'll let the video rip, and we'll discuss it.
Michael Porter Jr. recently said, "Oh, I don't like this. That if the Nuggets don't win this, that was a good one. Don't try to get me on that. They might have to break up the team. Lou, are you buying that this is the last dance for the Denver Nuggets?"
Yeah, I'm buying.
Nuggets.
I'm buying it. Beater, you're gonna be in trouble today.
That's not.
You know what I gotta do, right?
What's that?
I beg your pardon?
The Dr. Umar? Dr. Umar should have jumped out the corner
I beg your pardon? You can't even deny it because the captions caught you.
The AI generated captions know what you said.
The captions say, yo, you said niggas, B. I was like this. Now LeBron, whenever she come out, Bron gonna be like, yo, I just gonna let her talk to me like that? Because you know what she said. You know she said niggas. She said it before.
Now, Kory, I don't cape. I don't put on the cape, the superhero.
Don't do it now. Don't do it now.
Hear me out. I don't put on the simp cape. I don't put on the simp cape that often.
Don't do it now.
You know what I mean? But in that situation, right? No. Hear me out. You don't think that there was a possibility that it's not just the fact that, because it did come out real smooth. It sounded like she says it every day. You know what I mean?
Nah.
But you don't think that, saying Nuggets, sometimes, Kory, when you're an on-air personality and you have to speak all day, speak all night, speak all day, every day, 24/7. You don't think that a slip-up can happen where you mix up your vowels? I goes in place of you and it goes Nuggets, but she stopped herself short of the T, and then she was like, what you mean? No. Let me play this again. Hold on. Let me play this again.
I've never
Jr. recently said,
one more time.
I don't like this. That if the Nuggets don't win this, that was a good one.
Kory, I'm telling you.
They might have to break up the team. Lou, are you buying that this
Go ahead,
is the
Justin.
last
She said the S part. That's what doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Josh.
Because it went AS. It didn't go like.
Where did the T's go?
So you think
I've never been at McDonald's and be like, hey, let me get some chicken McNuggets. I've never said that.
So you think it's more likely? You think it's more likely that it's just a word that, growing up and working in the very progressive NBA, she's been in mad locker rooms. I'm sure that word flies around every which way. You think it's more likely that she just picked that up and says it in everyday lingo? Because, like I said, it did come out smooth. You think it's more likely that happened versus she just mixed her vowels up?
I don't know what you doing behind closed doors.
Wow, bro. Wow. That's crazy. Wow, man.
Michelle Beadle might mess with the brothers. Like, they might got a little weird race play thing.
No, Kory, stop it.
I don't know.
No. See, this is why, like, when I talk to people about this show and this network, you're gonna be the one to get us sued.
Allegedly. She's very classy in front of the camera. She might be a Woe Vicky in the background.
What? A who? What did you say? What? What did you say?
Woe Vicky.
Woe Vicky. Unbelievable.
She might be one of the white women that uses that word loosely.
Justin, are you familiar with the work of Woe Vicky?
Should I Google her?
after the episode. Go ahead, Kory. What was you gonna say?
But not in a bad way. I don't think she meant it in a use to demean in a demeaning way. But I felt as though that word ain't the first time that came out your mouth. Pause.
Oh man! Allegedly, Michelle. Allegedly, FanDuel TV. Allegedly.
That's not who I had a problem with. That's not who I had a problem with. Lil Will. You was laughing a little too hard for my liking, brother.
You want to elaborate on? You want to elaborate on why you had such a problem with that?
Yeah. If I had a coworker and he just been like, no, I'd have been like, you crazy.
I could think of some people that work at other various places we work at that might let it fly every now and then.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say no names though. Never. I don't bring off-air stuff on air. I'm working on that. You know what I mean? Oh man, listen. We are going to move on to the NFL. Kory, you remember from the Olympics, right? Shout out all the Recess Bell podcast Olympic content that everybody can go back and listen to. Great stuff. But Kory, you are familiar with the breakdancing segment of the Olympics this past year? Where'd Kory go?
I'm familiar with the segment, Josh.
Yes.
Who could forget that amazing performance by the Australian?
Yo, Ray Gunn. Shout out Ray Gunn, yo. So there was and I love the NFL partly because of the celebrations, the creative celebrations that these players come up with. So Vikings defensive back Will Bynum, he scored on a pick six. And he said, now mind you, defenders don't get a lot of opportunities for pick sixes. Defensive players don't get a lot of opportunity for that. But I think he tweeted before the game or the past week, like, yo, I got a crazy celebration for y'all. If I score a touchdown, like, I'm going to blow y'all mind with this one. And everyone was like, I wonder what he's going to do. So lo and behold, he gets a defensive touchdown. And this is what he rolls out. He reenacts the entire Ray Gunn performance. This is incredible. Yo, round of applause for Will Bynum, yo. That's what's up. That's how you do it. That's fire.
The NFL, a lot of people say it's the no fun league, but we need more stuff like that. I mean, it's just fun in football because it could be it's a very dangerous sport, and we've seen a lot of injuries this year. We've seen people die in recent years and get resurrected
and come back to life. Yeah.
So I mean, we need more stuff like that to sort of make us smile.
When you have the special, I remember do you remember a couple years back? Am I bugged out?
Yeah, you could fix your there you go.
I just gotta go straight. No, I gotta go vertical.
Hey yo.
Yeah, pause. But no. But when you remember a couple years ago when Seattle did something like this, where they just had all these celebrations. Once you have that team oriented mindset, we're gonna score this week, regardless of what people think. We're gonna score. It helps. I don't know. Manifest that. Yo. Yeah. I already got my celebration ready. And mind you, they've had a couple of these already. I'm trying to remember another one that they had that went crazy popular. But he's always in charge of choreographing that whole situation. But
it's good when, your team ends up winning and it's all fun and games, but like if you spent 3 hours choreographing and then you lose 48-3, it's sort of, there is the opposite end to that for sure.
Like the New York Jets every week.
Oh damn.
Oh God.
Oh damn.
It's funny. As we all flow into the NFL as we close, the fact that on the radio on Friday for Football Friday, I noted that the Jets-Cardinals line, Jets at Cardinals, Jets were 1.5 point favorites on the road. Mind you, Jets are 3-6 heading into Sunday. Cardinals are 5-4. I'm like, and I called it. I'm like, you know what? This is a classic case of Vegas trying to get people to take the cheese, like on the rat trap. Like, okay, the Jets, they've been terrible all season long, but they won last week. Big win versus the Texans on a short week, but they're going into Arizona. Aaron Rodgers has done this before. He's run the table before, RELAX and all of that. He's done it before. So Vegas just threw the cheese out there. They was like, yo, you want to take the Jets. You want to take the Jets -2.
No, we don't.
You want to take the Jets -1.5.
No,
and all the money was on the Jets, Kory. And what happened? The Jets got railroaded.
Embarrassed.
You know who left that? You know who left that game the hell alone? Sky. Nah. I was like this. I'll put my money elsewhere.
The Aaron Rodgers experiment has been, in recent memory, as far as New York sports goes, I can't think of a worse
Brett Favre.
No. This is worse. This is worse.
So it's worse than basically kind of got to lead through a whole sex scandal. We forgetting all that? Forgot that?
Well,
I mean, if you want to talk off the field. I mean, I don't know. I don't know Aaron Rodgers' business. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is sending meat mail in his free time. I don't know that.
Time out.
Why would I know that?
On top of him playing like garbage, Brett Favre was only here for a year or some change, I think. Right?
Yes, but Favre's run, I mean, looking back at it, we all know why it ended the way it did is because of his arm injury. With Rodgers, we don't even know what the deal is with him. And the fact that it is more than 1 year is actually worse on it.
You said Favre had an arm injury, right?
Yeah.
Who's to say that Aaron don't got a head injury?
Well, I think he does. I'm assuming he's got some sort of brain issues going on right now. But that Favre, collapse, that led to some good years for the Jets. I'm hoping that this organization could eventually get out of the shitter because they have been the laughingstock of the NFL for 15 years, the longest drought in NFL without a playoff berth. It is sad being a Jets fan.
You know what they gave up to get that one? It was one and done. They'll never get a two. Look, they'll never be like their big brothers, the Giants.
Well, I mean, from everything I'm hearing, Woody Johnson is allegedly being enlisted once again by Donald Trump to serve overseas as an ambassador. So maybe if you get him out the picture, maybe it changes.
His family's still going to be running it.
Right.
The whole Johnson family needs to get rid of this team. Sort of like, with Cohen picking up the Mets. Maybe the Jets can get a guy who's a lifelong Jets fan and has a lot of money to spend.
Quick little sidebar. Y'all seen that little touchdown dance that all the Trump supporters are doing now? The little...
Yeah.
Why does that look like you jerking off something?
Two things.
I'm like, y'all can have that celebration. Y'all can have it.
What did he say?
What? What is yo?
Hey,
Kory.
We all thought the Jets. I mean, majority of the world, maybe not you, Kory, but majority of the people thought the Jets would not be what they are now. At the very least, a wild card team.
Talking about when they traded for Devontae Adams, I was like, yo, they about to be in the money because they have the defense. Now you have Devontae. You have the pieces on offense. This shit gels so well together.
But they don't have the culture. They don't. If you're in the NFL and you want to win and you don't have the culture, you're not going to do nothing. We've seen this over and over and over again. This is why I tell people, you could put together a dream team lineup. If you're not even the coaching, because we've seen very talented teams fail before, i.e. the 2011 Eagles dream team with Andy Reid coaching. But that's Andy Reid, one of the greatest coaches ever coaching. But if you don't have the culture, if your culture is jacked up, you're not going to do a damn thing.
And I don't think it's Robert. I don't think it was Robert Saleh. I really think it's Rodgers. It's Rodgers pulling all the strings, and people are afraid of him. It's like he's this untouchable god who's done nothing for your organization. And I've said it a million times. This isn't Rodgers talking to the Packers, higher ups and saying we need to hire this, we need to do this. It's a guy who's done nothing but just lose, and we're just catering to all of them. We're signing his receivers, we're getting rid of coaches, we're getting offensive coordinators, all for this guy who's 40 years old and has done nothing for the Jets. And I will not understand this, and this is by far worse than Brett Favre, and I don't even think it's close.
And it's funny, I'm actually writing a piece about the NFL as a halfway point to the recessbell.com that should be out this week. And I'm going through all the different teams, every single team, all 32 teams I'm touching base on in this article. And as I jumped off the Jets point, and you get to some of the teams that do have a sound culture, like a team that, kind of has been mid the last decade. I mean, since their quarterback retired in 2020, so the past, coming up on a half decade. But, okay, in the case of Russell Wilson, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I have some clips to play on that front. Seattle, Super Bowl champion. A lot of great seasons. Throwing the ball, running the ball. Under Pete Carroll. Legion of Boom.
Let's ride.
He goes to the Broncos. Broncos country, let's ride. He goes to year number 1. He's with Nathaniel Hackett, who Justin knows as a Jets fan. One of the worst coaches in NFL history. He can't be a coordinator. He can't be a head coach. He can't do anything. So that's his head coach. Fails miserably. Worst season ever of his career, Russell Wilson. Year 2, Sean Payton. Sean Payton's a very particular type of coach. If you're not in line with Sean Payton's personality, like Russell Wilson likes to praise God and kiss babies. That's not Sean Payton at all. So that personality clash, even though Russell Wilson had a very marked improvement from year 1 in Denver to year 2, Sean Payton hates this man so much. He eats like $80 million in dead cap and says, get lost. You're a free agent. So he goes to Pittsburgh, right? Mike Tomlin, we know about the Steelers. They might not be the greatest team every year, but that culture is undeniable. Mike Tomlin never had a losing season, and he's had multiple seasons of Kenny Pickett starting at quarterback. So he's the goods. So you have the biggest game of last week, Steelers and Commanders. Steelers in Washington. Steelers, it's a great game.
Mm-hmm.
Steelers are up by 1 last drive, and you see the difference between a well-coached a team with good culture and a team that's still young and figuring it out with the Commanders. Commanders jump off sides when the whole world knows, they're just trying to draw you off sides. You can't jump over the line. And then you produce this moment from the Steelers and Russell Wilson.
Washington played into their hands. Wilson celebrating. Steelers are going nuts on the sideline.
A whole calendar year ago, you saw clips every week of Sean Payton yelling, screaming, bitching out Russell Wilson on the sideline. And now you have Russell Wilson doing goofy little dances after he wins another game. And the Steelers are 7-2. 7-2.
I'm a big Russell Wilson fan, and I never counted him out. I'm thinking this. I'm going to equate Russell Wilson's career a little bit to Kurt Warner, where Russell was on the Seahawks, Kurt was on the Rams. Then they have that, middle career where they suck. Kurt Warner's on the Giants. They think his career's over. Russell goes to the Broncos, career's over. We all know Kurt Warner goes to the Cardinals, gets to a Super Bowl, leads to another, amazing performance in that Super Bowl. I think Russell Wilson is having that second career resurgence, sort of like Kurt Warner did.
Oh, wait, what do we do? What are we doing here? Stop it.
What do you mean?
Stop with this revisionist history.
Revisionist history?
Like Russell.
What are you talking about?
Like Russell's career has been he's like this upstanding, like sparkling gold shit. No. People forget why they lost that Super Bowl in Seattle. It's because he wanted to steal the shot, didn't want to hand the fucking ball off.
Oh, that's the coaching. That's on Carroll. Why do you think that's on Wilson?
You could have audibled it as the quarterback. Please. You could have
10 years ago, Kory. 10 years ago.
And then, guess what? You're the quarterback. You're out there playing. Yes, you could contribute some of that to coaching. On the Broncos. Nobody else. And then, once you look at this team this year, does Justin Fields not get any credit for
He gets a lot of credit. I'm gonna give him credit. I'm gonna give him credit in that article this week. He gets a lot of credit. Got them to 4-2.
Stop it.
But you remember, Mike Tomlin made the decision once Russ got healthy. He was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a very calculated risk and start Russ, no matter if I lose the locker room, no matter if I get toasted for it in the media. He went with Russ, and they've gone 3-0 under Russell Wilson.
I think it's a real smart decision.
George Pickens thinks it's a great decision with the amount of catches he's getting now.
Y'all in the honeymoon phase. That shit going way off soon.
Guys, we gonna find out real soon. Actually, this week, because your Ravens gonna go to Pittsburgh this week.
This is a great week for football. This is like the best week for football.
The only thing interesting about Russell Wilson is his wife Sierra. That's it. Just only all
right. You're a hater.
Well, I'm a hater.
You are a hater.
Wow.
You sound like a hater.
I do not sound like a hater, brother.
Kory, this is I wanted to play 100% real, documented, verified audio of Russell Wilson post game, after that big win versus Washington. Again, this is real. It has not been doctored or edited. It is not AI. This is actually Russell Wilson stepping outside of himself and speaking to the media after that big win on Sunday.
We better bust out a DNA test because I'm pretty sure I'm Jaden Daniels' daddy now. When Russell Wilson, a.k.a. Mr. Unlimited, a.k.a. Dangerous, walked into Northwest Stadium today, the Commanders fans didn't take me seriously. They thought their little fucking rookie quarterback was going to get a win over my Steelers, but they thought wrong. I put up 3 touchdowns, including an absolute piss missile to Mike Williams with 2 minutes left to seal the victory. Anyways, the black and gold are 7-2. We're headed to the playoffs. And today I taught my son Jaden some valuable fucking life lessons. Steelers country, let's weld. I'll see you next week.
Again, that is
like that.
That is 1,000% real. It was not edited at all. It was not doctored. That is actually Russell Wilson speaking post game. Kory, where are you on Steelers country? Let's weld. Where are you on that slogan? You like it? You rocking with it? I can't even hear him. He's just mouthing no.
Is he muted?
I don't know. Did he mute himself?
What about let's steal? Steelers country, let's steal.
Steelers country, let's steal. That's not bad. That's not bad. You know what? I think Riverside is doing us a favor. Kory, he was hating too much. They had to clip his audio. They had to clip him real quick. Kory can figure that out. We are for like. There we go. Oh, dang it. Dang it.
Yeah, no.
Damn it.
No. That's straight 2-pack of ass. No, that's no, fuck all that.
So you're not rocking with Steelers country. Let's weld. Wow. Okay.
No. Watch it win the AFC North. I just got a feeling. Who's gonna win the AFC North. It's gonna be that man who's gonna win the MVP again. Sorry.
Who Mike Tomlin calls Mr. Jackson. Can't even call him Lamar. That he owns us. That man dominates us. That's Mr. Jackson.
Now, I'm about to say something wild, but I'm not doing that.
Well, the recess bell rules. Now you got to say it.
Nah, I'm not.
Nah?
You ever seen that? I guess it's a song back in the day, but it's like something. I forgot what it is, but it says, it's Miss Jackson if you're nasty. Y'all won't get that reference.
Oh, man, another Kory reference we didn't get. Whatever what we do. All right, let's as we wrap up here, I did want to run down some trending videos of the week. Like I said, Justin, I think I was gonna play this video earlier, but Justin, I don't know if you're as big a Jeopardy Wheel of Fortune guy weekdays at 7 p.m. as I am.
I'm a Jeopardy guy, not a Wheel of Fortune guy.
Not a Wheel of Fortune guy. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, but I think
I'm a huge Jeopardy
clip.
guy though.
Jeopardy's best, man.
Yeah, Alex Trebek and Pat Sajak are no more, but hey, we got new blood in there. So Ryan Seacrest is the Wheel of Fortune host now. I'm not a fan either.
I don't get Seacrest. What does he have? He has to have something on some top executive at ABC because he's hired
He's got
for
pictures
everything.
on somebody. He's got pictures on somebody.
He has no personality. What is the fascination with this guy that he's hosting every single show?
I couldn't agree with you more. But yeah, he's on Wheel of Fortune now. And I saw this clip floating around. The one day I wasn't watching Wheel of Fortune because this is like the biggest old man thing I do. I don't miss certain shows on the weekdays. I don't miss PTI on ESPN. I never miss that show. And then I flip over at 7 o'clock, catch Jeopardy, catch Wheel of Fortune.
You missed Jeopardy today, didn't you?
I did because the Recess Bell show is Wednesdays from 6 to 7:30, but we're going a little extra today, a little bit. But this video is floating around. I always have this take. I really can't believe just how stupid the average American or human being is. And this is just another example.
As Kory turns the thing sideways.
I'd like to buy a U. Well, you're going to get 3 U's. I'd like to solve the puzzle. Okay, well, let's hear it. Treat yourself a round of sausage. No. I'm sorry, that's not it. Over to Katina.
I would like to solve.
Okay.
Give yourself a round of applause.
Yeah, that's it. Although, Will, I kind of like yours better. That sounds better than just...
Let me freeze frame this real quick. Hold on. Let me just...
Brother, why was sausage on your mind?
Now, you see on the caption there, he says, treat yourself a round of sausage. Where do you fit the word treat in the first line? What is this?
Oh, wait, and a round of sausage? Whoa, brother.
This clip would have been so much better if Steve Harvey was the host of Wheel of Fortune.
I was like, Steve Harvey, what?
A round of what?
Give yourself treat yourself. I don't know where you get treat from, but treat yourself a round of sausage. My brother in Christ, that's an A that starts that word. A round of salt, bro. What?
Yeah. Just like, where are you getting? Why is the A? Because the A's there already. There's no space there. Is he thinking that there's a space? There's so many questions, but I get it. Sometimes you're just on the spot with something, and like I couldn't think of the movie The Social Network the other day during a morning show quiz we were having, and it's like obviously I know that this guy could be the smartest guy in the room. You just have that brain fart. I think we've all had it before. Or he could be a complete moron.
Could be. It could be either or, right? You just never know these days.
My favorite Wheel of Fortune, this one guy gets 3 questions wrong. One of them is on-the-spot decision, and he says...
Yes.
On the spot, like dice spin or something.
Dice spin.
Like yeah. And that guy, he's just like... By the end of that day, it's like the worst day of his life because he gets 3 like hysterically bad answers that day.
Bro, that was classic, and that was the college kid episode.
Yeah, I think he was like a Brown University or something. Like how do you go back to school the next day?
Brown was looking like, yo, brother, we're gonna have to expel you just on principle. You guys looking crazy out.
Dice spin.
Dice spin.
Yo, you got us looking crazy out here. I'm sorry, bro. You gotta go.
Yeah, nah, that was a college episode. So all these kids coming from these prestigious schools.
Yeah.
And then that kid just completely, wets the bed. Like, that was insane. Speaking of just stupidity, I know Kory was going to enjoy this one. We know Meek Mill is trying to fight the Diddy allegations. You know what I mean? We've gotten into it many times on the Recess Bell podcast. But Kory, Meek Mill is now trying to distance himself from all things Diddy. Take a listen to this.
Yo, Sal, what's up?
Yeah, y'all already know how we playing out this motherfucker. This real life.
Real life shit,
nigga,
yeah.
No Diddy gang, Meek Mill in real life. Don't ever disrespect me, you
Talk
heard?
that shit, Meek. Yeah, Meek.
Now, I think for the purposes of the shaboing boing of the week,
Shaboing boing.
it's not going to Meek Mill. It has to go to this young man right next to him. Just gassing him up. It was very uncomfortable. Yeah, talk that shit, Meek. Like, why are you there? Like, bro, why are you here? Let me run this one more time. If you can make out what Meek's saying, he says, no Diddy gang at some point in the video. Let's just run this again.
Yo, Sal, what's up?
Yeah, y'all already know how we playing out this motherfucker. This real life.
Real life shit,
nigga,
yeah.
no Diddy gang, Meek Mill in real life. Don't ever disrespect me, you
Talk
heard?
that shit, Meek. Yeah.
Yeah, I Kory, what you think? As the Diddy correspondent, what you think about this?
Whoa.
I'm sorry, the leader of the Diddy prosecution. My bad.
Hey, that man need to be under jail. But nah, I ain't gonna hold you. That's some real fake shit right there because it's like, yo, We all seen the videos of you, B. You can't. Don't hop in your past now, my guy. You was in them video, not the videos that other people think you in, but you was in videos. You had a connection with Diddy. Like you looked at him probably as a mentor. You probably looked at him somebody as like a pioneer in a rap game. I mean, in this hip hop element. So the fact that you switching up now is kind of crazy. You was at that man's house, in his pool, Y'all was on you. Calm down. When he was telling you to start scraping and scrambling, that you didn't like have anything crazy to say. Now, no Diddy game. That's why his kids. That's why I believe it was Justin. I think it's Justin. Justin Combs was in the comments like shaking my head, bro, because he didn't even know. Look, Meek, you better be careful out here. You know, the Diddy kids, they running down on people now.
Is that right?
Hey, that's Ray J. Right? They ran down on Ray J.
Did that really happen?
Yeah, you gotta be careful out of these streets.
I could say so much right now, but I'm holding back.
The diddlers are trying to keep his name alive.
Hey man, listen. This whole case since Diddy got indicted. Matter of fact, when I wrote on the recess bell about when Cassie brought that first lawsuit, ever since that point, this has all been very uncomfortable for your boy. I'm not gonna lie.
Yo, Josh, quick question. Do you remember that tweet? Do you remember that tweet like a couple of weeks ago, or like maybe a month ago or so? Meek Mill had posted like, I got like 250,000 for anybody who can find out why my name is being mentioned and all this other stuff with Diddy. I'm like, brother, we see of you with Diddy. Like, why your name is being brought up with Diddy? You know why your name being brought up.
You're not wrong. And my mind will always go when I think about Meek Mill to that video of it was under some red lights and Meek Mill was talking about smashing
I was fucking his bad bitch, and then he drove me crazy.
The speed at which Diddy's head turned.
As soon as he said fucking, he went, "What did you say?"
For real, he's talking about me. He's talking about me. That's exactly what he did.
No. His head turned, and then he had this passionate, like locked in, like me and you locked in, like, sir, yeah, keep going. we here right now. No,
that was a good reenactment,
brother. That was a good reenactment. Like eyes locked together, like we right here.
Hey man, listen.
Hey, did you know? When that 50 Cent documentary on Diddy's coming out, isn't that a Netflix thing coming out soon?
I don't know. I don't think it has a date. I think he's still doing getting interviews and getting the whole thing. Because I think it's going to be like a complete workaround, especially if he is convicted and everything like that. I think he's going to go from that angle as well. So I think it's going to be more in depth than a Survivor R. Kelly type of situation. I think he's going make sure he does his due diligence to get as many interviews as possible. So I don't know if it has a due date yet.
That's gonna be. I'm hoping that's one of those where it's just every week, another celebrity gets thrown under the bus. I love it. I love watching these guys that were on top of the world and just completely fall.
No, I love it too. I definitely rock with it. I think I've said this about celebrities for years. The amount of dirt they got to do to make it, selling their souls and all that, doing nasty stuff to get in the game, it's all going to get exposed.
I'm going to point out this one thing, right? Now, this is a complete different reaction to how people are handling the Diddy case and how people handling the Vince McMahon case. Nobody talking about the Vince McMahon case. And y'all, you want something crazy? They're being charged with the exact same thing and being investigated for the exact same thing. And guess what? People but Vince ain't have no freak offs. We seen those text messages. If that ain't a freak off, I don't know what is. You talking about?
I think the difference is though, the people involved in the Vince thing are wrestlers and executives with WWE.
No, I'm talking about the female, Janelle Grant.
Yeah.
Yeah. a second. You heard when you talk about getting feces put on top of your head, that's kind of crazy work. And then being slutted.
He did what?
And then being slutted out to his coworkers, be like, "Hey, yo, you know all of them want to turn at you. Yo, go handle that."
He did what?
And then she come back. And then she come back and saying, "I'm a little bit sore." I'm like, that sounds like a freak off to me.
Yeah, but the Diddy thing I think has more legs just because there's going to be like big names attached to this. Nobody really cares about, Pat Patterson or, Brock Lesnar in the grand scheme of things compared to some of these celebrities that have been affiliated with, whether it's LeBron James going there or big, gigantic names.
But and I'm surprised. I hate to say some people are dumb.
I don't.
But why did Kamala use that in her election? Like in her campaign?
All
it's
right,
like,
Kory.
hey, yo.
No, you're flying too close to the sun.
No. Because I'm doing like this. Yo, they caught you. They'll be like, yo, Donald, you caught your man's Vince. Yeah, we know about you. Y'all cool. Y'all think it's Steve. They caught your man on them charges.
Kory, I'm not gonna elaborate, but I think that would have backfired on Kamala in some way, shape, or form.
What about your guy, Bill Clinton? I mean, you could have spun it a million ways. All politicians have scummy friends.
Exactly. Yeah, it wouldn't have worked out for Kamala.
But you know who's in his cabinet right now?
Linda McMahon.
I'm just saying.
That's wild, yo. Wow.
And now guess what? If a certain birdie gets off and no charge, and nothing happens to him, someone has to wonder these things.
Vince is allegedly starting another company. I don't know if it's a wrestling company. It's something though. He's working on something.
And I remember, if I can remember correctly, Vince McMahon donated $17 million to Donald Trump. Oh, the connections are getting. I'm just saying.
Conspiracy Kory is on the loose, everybody.
But I'm just saying.
Conspiracy Kory is on the loose.
I'm just, and then now you say that, because Diddy is so closely associated with all these top names. Vince ain't associated with some top names like The Rock and all these other people.
The Rock for sure.
Hey.
Yeah. Rock and John Cena. I guess they're big names.
All I know is when these charges came out against Vinnie Mac, and he had to retire, you know who was at his dinner for his retirement? I'm just saying, certain top actors who used to be wrestlers.
Again, just for the purposes that Kory doesn't get my company sued.
Allegedly.
Just to be safe, Kory. I trust everything you're saying, though. I believe it's coming from good info. As we close out, I did want to at least reference or bring up the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight on Friday night.
Oh my God!
Woo!
What do you guys think's actually going to happen? Because Tyson, he has the power, but clearly, I've seen him run. His legs aren't what they are. Does he have the stamina to? You can make a hype video. You can make anybody look like a badass. I'm not saying Mike's not one, but.
Are we gonna be honest here? Why BSing with ourselves? We know what's about to happen.
What's about to happen?
So you can put your allegedly marker already. Mike got.
I got it ready. I got it queued up.
Look, the fix is already in.
The fix is in.
Wow. Mike taking a dive. Mike taking a dive.
In boxing, that's never happened.
Mike,
never.
Look. Once they put once they put Jake in a real boxing element with Tommy Fury, and he couldn't control the elements, it was like, oh shit, I'm fucked. But then once it's like, oh, I can control these elements, yeah, I'm about to cook the books a little bit. Hey, Tyson, make me look good. Fourth, fifth round, I'm gonna hit you with one of these. You go down.
Well, regardless if it's a Fugazi affair or not, I will be locked in just because it's sheer entertainment.
And who knows? Free. You have Netflix. You don't have to pay the $100 that some of these boxing pay-per-views cost.
Right, exactly. It's going to stream live on Netflix on Friday night. Who knows? After the fight, we might do a little Recess Bell stream, maybe.
Netflix,
recap it, maybe.
Netflix live sports. I'm down with it. When the fight happens, we can watch it live. Do something.
Some of the majority of these, celebrity type fights are very underwhelming. I'm just hoping this somewhat delivers, because remember Tyson fought a few years ago. It was boring as hell. All these, whether Mayweather was fighting, the Pacquiao fight wasn't good. The Mayweather McGregor fight wasn't exciting.
Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. was ass. I'm sorry,
it was terrible. It was terrible.
No, that was. Oof.
So I'm just hoping we get something. Like, we want to see a knockout.
You want
to see a knockout.
You want the real fights? Saudi putting on the real fights. Riyadh is putting on real box fights. You look at what happened with Anthony Joshua just recently. Like, people thought he was about to wash the guy that he was going against. He wound up face down, ass up, pause.
I think that's the perfect note to close today's episode.
I mean, it's what happened. That's what happened. I can't deny what happened.
Nah, we hear you, bro. We hear you, bro. All right, listen, y'all. The Recess Bell Show. Thank y'all for tuning in. Listen, we got the Recess Bell podcast available on all podcasting platforms. TheRecessBell.com. We got some articles dropping. We got a Tyler the Creator Chromtopia review from Nessa, our buddy, our friend. That'll be dropping this week. I'll drop some articles, NFL, NBA, and on some other things as well.
Nessa was just on the film reel with me as well.
Oh, the best movie podcast I've ever heard.
Shout out to the film reel.
Yeah.
Shout out to the film reel.
Yeah, me and Kory both gonna get on that project, Justin.
It was we had a great episode with Nessa. We talked about horror movies. It's just Halloween just passed. We touched upon some of our favorite childhood memories watching horror movies, and we focused mostly on the Evil Dead series, and we talked about the Terrifier series. It was a really great episode, and that was like her second time, I think, ever doing a live broadcast, and she's a natural, so she's only going to get better.
Now, if I were to want to watch that episode, Justin, what do I search up to find that on?
Now, if you go to wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple, wherever, you just type in Recess Bell Film Reel, that's REAL, you're going to find all of the episodes, and there's a bunch of them. Kory, you're on a few of them. We've talked about wrestling. We've talked about the X-Men. So you're going to find something that, whatever interest you will have with movies, there's something that I've covered, I'm sure.
The Recess Bell is a network. Make sure y'all check all that out. You can find out all the information on therecessbell.com. We are still working on Kory's personal show where he huffs galaxy gas and then hosts an hour-long podcast. We're still working on that. That's still in the works. We're going to get that together for y'all. But once again, thanks to y'all for pulling up. We'll see y'all next week. And you might just see us on Friday after the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul event. I can't call it a fight. We'll call it an event. All right, so yeah, y'all say peace to the people, y'all.
Peace out.